G'day to all you blokes and shields out there, this is Gareth Price, the Sinister Siblings, and I just want to make a couple of good little videos. Well, just this video here. This video was just uploaded by Bearing, who I'm actually quite a good subscriber to. I don't say much, but yeah, I'm interested in his work half the time. And this is a video called Steve Shives Supports Free Speech. I've got it on mute because I'm not going to respond to anything or let any sort of audio Bearings got because I don't want to have to deal with another copyright strike. Sorry if I can't speak, I've got an ulcer on my tongue. I'm more likely going to be reviewing and responding Steve Shives' tweets that Bearing has compiled together. This is also, some of them actually have been a bit of a heated debate with Lacey Green, who I had first kind of despised with how over the top in feminism she was, in the sense that, so many ridiculous genders and a lot of stuff. But now that she has sort of gone on the in-betweener on both sides, feminism and anti-feminism, she's sort of like the great equalizer in between both sides, I've kind of developed a fondness for her. Not too big of one, but yeah, just enough of one that I understand where she's getting to now. Well, understand her now. So without further ado, I'm just going to say what the tweets say, then give my voice and opinion to them. Uh-oh, wrong button. Okay. So this is a little clip of him voicing his own free speech and a lot of stuff. First tweet. I don't want to make friends with anti-feminists. Far more productive to befriend someone at YouTube who could delete all their channels. Okay. I don't get where you're trying to go with that one there, Steve. That doesn't sound right. You ever heard of something called making peace with your enemies, Steve? Or just people who don't agree with you? Lacey Green's response. Nobody needs to be friends with anyone else, okay? But it's pretty alarming to frame political censorship and thought policing as productive. True enough. You're allowed to have your own thoughts, alright? You're allowed to disagree with other people's thoughts and opinions. You're allowed to have your own one. You're allowed to have people disagree with yours. Although I did have a bit of a heated debate in my Alien vs. Flood fan video a couple of days ago. Yeah. Steve's response to Lacey Green. It's upsetting to hear you repeating the same, you just want to silence disagreement bit that I hear from the likes of Carl Benjamin or TJ Kirk. Well, yes, because that's what you want, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to silence disagreement, Steve. And I mean genuinely upsetting. Really? Sorry if I keep licking my lips every now and then, my lips are dry. Lacey's response. Abuse is one thing, but banning channels you disagree with is political censorship. A level of civility is necessary to understand each other. Yes. That is exactly right. We need to have some sort of civilized understandings towards one another. We're allowed to disagree and agree on topics. Doesn't mean we have to go all out and say that you're wrong straight off the bat without understanding what they're trying to get at with their opinion. If their opinion is completely bizarre, then, well, you can take it with a grain of salt. If their opinion makes no sense at all, then it's alright to disagree with them wholeheartedly. Steve's response again. I'm not advocating political censorship. I'm advocating not wasting time making nice with abusive, dishonest, opportunistic people. Wow, Steve. Those words, abusive, dishonest, opportunistic people. That's you in a nutshell, Steve. So you're not going to waste time making nice with your own inner self? Okay. Maybe you can't understand that you are becoming that way. Blind to your own arrogance. But that's exactly what's happening, Steve. You're becoming blind to your own personality. You are on the definitions of abusive, well, not abusive, but dishonest and opportunistic. Especially with that Richard Spencer thing. Everyone knows he has, questionable policies and opinions, but he's not a neo-Nazi. Well, he's definitely not a Nazi in general. They died out over 70, well, they were removed from power over 70 years ago. Although, I'm a bit conflicted as to who actually said the quote, but whoever said it said, and I quote again, "The fascists of the future will call themselves the anti-fascists." And we're seeing that happen over in the US. Steve Shives. Deleting professional bigots and harassers from social media platforms isn't censorship. Kind of is. Especially with the fact you don't realize you're becoming one of them. I can't tell if it's arrogance or ignorance. Steve Shives again. It takes so little effort to not be a gross piece of shit to women. Is that truly what you are to them? Or what you think, Steve? Hell. Oh, wow. I would never do that to a woman unless they are really provoking my other mindsets. Trust me, the only time I ever did that was in a fish and chip store, and that's when she was going full bore at me for no reason at all. She claimed that I insulted her mother and just started going off like a raging monkey. Apparently, that woman there couldn't tell the difference between an insult and a compliment. I'm unfortunate to say there. So, I had to go back there and she started playing the victim card on me. Steve Shives again. They operate in the open, abusing people for profit in broad daylight, because that's the environment that's been created for them. What? I'm sorry, Steve. How does that make sense at all? I need some time to process this one over. How do they openly abuse people? I mean, I realize you and half of Christie's crew can sometimes do that when really provoked with their disagreement, but all they're doing is disagreeing, and sometimes poking fun if you guys are going off the deep end about their disagreements. That's all. They're not openly abusing people for profit. They're openly disagreeing and sometimes poking fun at you in a very, actually, humorous way for profit. That's what it is. Open disagreement. Here's Steve Shives again. And it's not like the people I'm talking about are hiding. They're easy to find. True. You're right there. We're all looking at you. We can all see your tweets now. You are making yourself out to be such an... You try to make yourself to be a double standard person. On this, you're trying to make yourself seem like a very good guy, but on your own videos, you're making yourself seem like an asshole. Wow. And I'm doing this, and I'm not doing it for profit. I can't be bothered, because YouTube's never going to give me any money anyway. I don't get enough views to do so. Okay, just a random speak, and because I've had it muted, they're not going to hear that. Well, none of you are anyway. You can go to Bearing's channel if you want to see the full video. Okay. Those little laughing fests. That little laughter meme, that little squeaky laughter. The guy in the orange shirt thing. And another one from Steve Shives. Lacey Green, who has apparently opted for the "if you can't beat them, cozy up to them" so they'll at least be nice to you, defense. What? It's... that's not exactly it. You've just let the entire context fly over your head, like you've let every other disagreement fly over your head. It's not if you can't beat them, cozy up to them. It's if you can't beat them, find an even ground to make modest conversation with them. That's it there. You seem to have missed by about 10 miles on that point. Holy shit, my battery life's going down fast. Steve Shives again. Reaching out to media trolls, making friends with them, showing everyone how reasonable they can be won't help. Well, it can be. It can help. Right? It can... Sorry, I'll try again. It can help if you're not trying to be an absolute monster to them. They can be reasonable. They can be reasonable if you just understand where they're getting from. We have to understand... Well, we understand where you're getting from, although that's starting to become very hard to figure out there because you keep doubling back on yourself. Steve Shives again. And while it's a big problem that won't be solved entirely in one sweeping action, a lot of it could be addressed relatively quickly. Yes, find something you both agree on, then expand on that. Find equal ground for you and those who disagree with you. Don't try to wipe them off the board. Removing them from the platform, platform permanently. That will help. No, Steve, that will make the problem worse. Can you please figure that one out? It's not going to help. It's just going to make your situation and everyone on your side's situation a lot worse than it already is. Trust me, I'll tell you why after I see this next tweet. I think I'd at least take the first and most obvious step and remove as many of the professional trolls as I could find. Well, do that, half the feminist community online won't exist. Okay, that's not the reasoning I was after. Well, not the tweet I was after to display my reasoning. Here we are. Difference of opinion. Difference of opinion. Awesome. Vigorous, enthusiastic debate. Awesome. People being intolerant bullies for a living. Not so much, no. That's another one of Steve Shives. Well, let's see now. You've gotten to the point in your area of feminism and social justice that you can't tell the difference between difference of opinion and vigorous, enthusiastic debate or intolerant bullies for a living. You have actually lost the ability to figure out the difference between those two. Well, those two areas. I'm sorry to say the truth. No matter how much it hurts, that's what's happening. You have lost your ability to figure out the difference between them. Steve Shives again. Professional bullies. People who exploit media platforms to push ignorance and hatred and incite harassment should be shown the door. Well then, Steve, by all means, the door's over there. You can walk yourself out, or you can change your ways. And try to understand where our side is getting from so we can find equal grounds. Before I continue, I'm actually trying to be as very calm as possible now. I've seen where my aggressive sides have been getting me in videos, and I don't want any more of that. Here we go, Steve Shives again. Will that fix everything? Of course not. But tell me banning trolls with 100k subscribers of the followers wouldn't take a big bite out of the problem. No, that would not work. Alright? That wouldn't take a big bite out of the problem. Alright? That would just make your problem so much worse. You see, people like Baring, who have got hundreds of Ks of subscribers, anyone with large YouTube channels, who are basically opposing you, you get rid of them, you don't realize that they'll become martyrs for those who have followed them. Those who have followed them end up making their own channels. People like me, we end up making our own channels, and we would also end up going up against you. So no, it won't take a big bite out of the problem. It'll just make your problem 100,000 times worse than it already is. Well, probably not 100,000 times, but much worse than it already is. You have to be battling on multiple fronts then. I'm sort of basically comparing this to Game of Thrones. Steve Shives is sort of acting like a, in this sense now, a sort of gender-bent Cersei Lannister. He can't break bread and make peace with his enemies. Nope, he wants to destroy them. Not realizing that in doing so, he's going to be making many more. Oh dear. Okay, more audio that I can't release because I got it muted. Yes. I think this is Baring stuff. In speculation's name, or this is just random quotes that are on the title now. In speculation's name, we'll lay our own unrest. Consume the game. Fixate on the bleak and forget about the rest. Oh, this sounds like a song. Hang on, I'm just going to keep going. Forward, forward, forward. Yeah, this sounds like a song. Yeah, it was a song. My bad. So, there you go. Oh, crap. Why is it darkened out all of a sudden? Oh, that's right. There's a storm. My bad. There you go. There's the problem. And I'm very sorry about all this. That's the best we're getting here, aren't we? Shit. Should have had my light on. But there you go. Steve is sort of becoming the gender-bent, realistic equivalent of Cersei Lannister at the moment. He doesn't want to make peace with his opponents. He just wants to get rid of them. That's all he's doing now. That's going to come back around and bite him on the ass very quickly. Trust me. Well, that's all I've had to say about that video and his tweet, so until next time, I'll see you all another time. Cheery!